What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of You for Solo Leveling. This is episode 4, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Yeah. Um, I mean, most people online are calling this peak. I mean, it's. I mean, we've barely scratched the surface for this show and for Sung Jinwoo as a character. I mean, obviously, like he's just barely starting to get as powerful as he is right now. So but yeah, it's I mean I and also I had a chance to read the manhwa. Uh, it's a total of 200 chapters, so so it's hard for me to believe that that they're gonna really cover like more than half these chapters by the end of the 12 episode run. So, but yeah, so I mean, picking up after the last episode, I mean, you can tell like how much more powerful he's gotten, ever since the first episode. Um, obviously, like, he's ever since his second awakening, he's been able to level up, you know, more sufficiently each time he's killed, each and every one of these monsters, and each and every time he gets, these unique rewards and extra skill points to put into he mostly just puts it into his strength compared to all the other skill points he could have used it on, like his vitality, agility, so on and so forth, just like if anyone was playing like a regular RPG game.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, most of this episode is him just fighting against these wolves until he ends up fighting, like, the boss of the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, the animation quality, it's like definitely reached top notch in this episode. I mean, most of the other
Mhm.
shows like Mappa or Ufotable tend to use like a lot of CG in a lot of those big fight sequences. But for A1 Pictures, they just literally just did it all. It's all hand drawn with Jinwoo fighting against this giant serpent, or basilisk like boss creature.
Yeah, that was fairly impressive. I mean, well, Mappa's done some scenes that are all mostly hand drawn, at least. So I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but yeah, I mean, it looked pretty decent for the most part. I mean, it's A1 Pictures, and honestly, for most of the time, I don't really expect too much from them. It seems like for certain series, they tend to put a lot more effort into it, like Sword Art Online, for instance. With other series that they kind of get the shaft, like with A1 Pictures. So yeah, I guess it really just depends on what series they really want to actually put effort into, and I guess it seems like Solo Leveling is one of those series that I guess they decided to put either more budget or more talented people in charge of doing the animation, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah. But a lot much of this fight. I mean, Sung, like it's like he's so far he's already so powerful to the point where he just basically just kills this basilisk with his bare hands. Like he did have like like a broken sword, but he just basically just like just went to town on this thing, and he just like I said, he just uses his bare hands just to strangle this damn thing somehow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was a pretty decent fight scene. Um, but yeah, so he of course clears the dungeon by beating this basilisk creature. And then the dungeon reverts back to being like a underground subway. Then when he gets out, what I guess one of the National Guard comes up to him, but he sees his his broken sword, and discovers he's a hunter. So then he leads him to this, I guess this something that happened while he was in the dungeon, which this giant golem appears and and I guess starts rampaging through the city. Um, so there's other hunters that are already fighting it. And then eventually, Jin Woo comes, or no, yeah, Sung, uh, comes upon it and sees that these other hunters are struggling against it, as well as I think, the healer girl. I think her name was, I forget what her name was. I think it was
It was Juhi.
Juhi. So she was, I guess, requested by the Hunters Association to help out, since she's, I guess, a B rank healer. So she was helping out against this golem, and they can't break through its defenses. So Sung just throws the broken sword at it, and somehow that ends up breaking its defense. So the other hunters end up taking it down. But supposedly it was already weakened by something else uh, before they started fighting it.
Yeah, and of course they try to find out like who threw that thing, but of course like I think one of the guardsmen who recruited Sung to help fight in the battle, he doesn't know where he went to, so Sung just basically just walks away from the fight. Um, basically just not taking credit for for well basically just the minimal amount of effort that he put in just trying to help take down that golem.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's kind of where things end. I mean, yeah, it was an okay episode. I guess the highlight was the fight with the Basilisk. I thought that was pretty well done. Everything else, it's like, yeah, he's basically just I guess the term for video game term for it was he's like grinding against like trash mobs or something, or just grinding uh by killing these a lot of these wolves in order to level up, and he's
Mhm.
mostly putting those points into strength, I guess.
Yeah.
But
And not only that, he also received a new dagger after defeating the basilisk.
oh right, yeah.
Yeah, he received like almost like a basilisk fang dagger. So I guess that well, it's possible he might get new weapons each time he gains in level and possibly defeats more enemies along the way. But
Mhm.
also like like he's also changing his appearance physically the more he levels up too. I mean, you notice like the amount of muscle he's gained on his arm by the end of this episode, but obviously he's gonna obviously like based on the promotional material, he's gonna change significantly in appearance.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about it though. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
It was a decent episode. Like it's I mean, it's kind of sad that it's like we're already like one third into the into the season so far. I really wish they could have added more episodes if we knew it was going to be this good. I mean, it's
Mhm.
possible that they might announce a second season, but that could still be ways off. Um, but yeah, overall, like I'm already hooked on this show, and definitely the most exciting show I've seen like ever since the start of this season.
But yeah, guys. So that all being said, then